Hey guys, Bob in the basement again. A number of you asked me to do a follow-up once the new furnace was installed. Well, the new furnace was installed a few hours ago. They finished up, so here we go. I got a lot of comments about the pros and cons of different systems and why didn't we go with a more efficient system. Cost. This comes down to that. Between an 80% efficiency basic system with the right number of BTUs, about 90,000 I think we got, versus like a 98% efficient system, it was like $5,000 plus additional maintenance costs plus a shorter life, more things to go wrong, more complex. Considering we spend $250 a month in the dead of winter, 5 months out of the year we don't use it at all, maybe 6 months we don't use it, we would never recoup the costs. Save the environment, sure, there's that, I'll give you that. But of course it takes more fuel and whatnot to make the more efficient furnace to begin with. I think if we really wanted to save energy, we would be better off insulating the house, upgrading the windows, keeping the thermostat turned down. That's my 2 cents anyways. So, here it is. They did a nice job. I like the way they reconfigured things. Kind of pan around this way. Well, let's start over here. So, the old system, one of the big problems was the cold air return. The intake down at the bottom. It curved around and was only like a 5-inch high opening. It's supposed to be like 24 by 18 or whatever that is. And the filter on the old furnace was inside the furnace. You had to pop the cover off and reach in there and get it out. And what ended up happening is I would only change it like once a season. The guy told me I should be changing it maybe once a month, especially given we have 2 dogs that shed. Well, now it's on the outside. You just pop that little knob open and you put a new filter in. Piece of cake. So I can already tell, just within an hour of the new furnace running, it had gotten our house from like being in the 50s to the low 70s. It's much quieter. It's running full blast right now. The old one used to kind of whine and whistle and creak and groan. Overall configuration is very similar. It's about the same size. But what I really like is the old one had this. So this is an attachment to add humidity to the air. This is a forced hot air system. So cold air comes in the bottom. It goes through a heat exchanger, heats the air up, which really dries it out, and then blows it out through registers throughout the house. This adds humidity into the heated air. I think on the old system they added humidity on the intake side. So they were trying to add humidity to the cold air coming in. I think this adds humidity to the hot air going out. I also like that it's here. The other one was on the side and there was a big like 8-10 inch diameter ductwork wrapping around the side with a big butterfly valve that we had to remember to switch in the summer versus the winter. Now that all that's gone, we've got extra room here. I don't know what's going to happen with this wall, but I mean, if someone ever wanted to, they could now move it over here and gain like 16 inches or so. Or for now, hey, I can now walk through if I wanted to. I thought this was curious. So this is water runs down through a water panel inside. It's like a honeycomb metal mesh kind of thing. Basically, just to spread the water out as air blows through it. And the runoff comes down here and goes to a pump, and then that gets pumped out to the drain. This pump looks exactly the same as the old pump that was like 22 years old. I had to ask the guy, hey, did you clean up the old pump or is it a new one? He said, no, they make them the same so that, you know, when you're retrofitting an old system, that everything fits together. Because it's an 80% efficient system, 20% of the hot air goes out the chimney. So yes, this exhaust pipe gets very hot, and we are using the old chimney flue. The more efficient systems you can use PVC because the system reclaims that heat. To do that, you have to add more stuff onto it, and that's where it gets more complicated. Well, okay, so that is the basic furnace, and it is 2-stage, I believe, so it kind of has a low and a high mode. I think the idea is it runs for a while in low mode and it sees kind of, is the house getting warm enough? If it's not, then it kicks into high mode. I think that's how it works. Alright, so that's all great and it's all working, no problems so far. And then there's this stuff that they left behind. They are coming back tomorrow to run some new ductwork. So we have an addition on the house. So this is the basement, this is the back wall. The upper floors go back further. But the heating ends here. They didn't extend the ductwork to the addition, it's unheated. Specifically, my wife's studio is not heated. So we have a pantry right above us somewheres. We're going to drill a hole down through a corner of that pantry and see where it comes through, and then run these long duct pipes up through the pantry to the second floor and add a register there. That's going to be the bulk of the work tomorrow, and fingers crossed we don't run into unusual floor joists or framing or conduit or pipes. The other change is running this way. So, you know, it's an economy house. Wood frame, very functional. They kept things to a minimum, so the heating ends here. Just as the back half of the house isn't heated, neither is the front half. So from here to the front of the house, there is no heat. Generally it's fine, but it seemed to me that, hey, the living room is right above us. We've got a bunch of ductwork here. We've got one heat thing here. Can we take this and extend it out and put a register underneath the bay window upstairs? So that's going to be the other thing that they're going to do. And that's pretty straightforward, simple enough to do, except for me, I have to move all this stuff. I mean, this has been good in a way because I have actually been getting a lot more organized down here. It may not look like it, but there's already been a lot of changes. Well, there's a wall that's gone, for one. There are going to be more. I'll talk about them in a separate video. For now, basically, all this stuff is going, and all these sets are going to be moved to this side of the basement. This is my fifth take on this segment. One, I'm realizing I'm probably moving the camera around too much and making people dizzy. Two, I keep getting interrupted by the doggos. Alright, what I want to say is, if you go back and watch, I think the first walkthrough video when we bought the house, I speculate on what to do with the space down here. In particular, where to set up a workbench. And I was immediately drawn to areas where there was a window. Maybe that's just psychological, I don't know. I really was kind of drawn to this area. There is a window back there, it's blocked off. I do want to open that up. It's kind of an interesting angle. I thought that could make a nice big work area. Or on this side we've got a window, and I did put a computer desk in the corner very recently. But I ended up, just when a friend was over, impromptu, we grabbed an unused door and a little floor show. We grabbed an unused door and some extra 2x4s, and we Shadow, stand up for yourself. And we made this workbench, and it's been here for 5 years. So I just wanted to work on projects. Alright, now I'm reassessing things now that I've been here a while and moved stuff around. I got to thinking, forget about all that stuff. The windows, it's a bad idea. I immediately regretted it because you can't put up shelves. It's a really good space to put stuff where you can reach, though. So I put my parts containers there and blocked off the windows. So enough! Sorry about that. So then I turned around and thought, what about this corner? The day we moved in, I put some stuff back here, and it has not been touched in 5 years. There's a nice little secluded L space back here. There's 4 outlets back there. We've got electricity. And it's kind of away from everything else and protected. Like nobody's going to bump into anything that I'm working on over here. Also, because the ducts are here, say I was going to make a man cave down there and put a sofa back there or something, people would be whacking their heads into these all the time. As will I, but I figure after a few times I'll remember, and I'll crouch down a little bit. I can make the workbench a little bit low. I'll be sitting down when I'm working at it, and I can put plenty of shelves on those two walls. Anyways, that's kind of where I'm thinking, where I'm heading with this. I've got plenty of lumber. I see they sell kits. I kind of wish I'd known this sooner. Kits where if you have 2x4s and some plywood, you can make a workbench or heavy-duty shelves in no time. I'm going to buy a couple of them just because they're on sale at Lowe's for 20 bucks a pop. I think it's a great deal. If I don't make a workbench with those, I'll make shelves. Anyways, we'll talk more about that later. I also have a lot of footage from when I tore down the walls and got the mold out and searched for the rat's nest. And I will eventually unveil what's behind the curtain. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this look at our new furnace. It's running full blast right now. And it's a lot quieter than the old one. I think they did a good job. I hope the ductwork goes smoothly tomorrow. That's all for now. Bye.